Here's how we took a cannabis brand from zero to over $20,000 a month in online sales, all without spending any money on ads. So here are the results you can see for yourself. This is for a hemp ecom brand. They did about $26,224.09 in 30 days. So in this training, you are going to learn the principles, the strategies behind these results. And keep in mind, while this was for a product-based business, you can absolutely apply this for selling services. We use this ourselves within our agency and also work with a lot of B2B cannabis professionals like lawyers and accountants to help them grow their business. So who is this training for? If you're an ambitious cannabis entrepreneur, meaning you want to take your business to the next level, but you just need some guidance on what to do next, then you're going to find this super helpful. If you are a startup in the cannabis industry, you're new to this space, you've got a lot of questions, and you're kind of looking for a roadmap of what to do, what not to do, stick around. And if you're tired of being restricted by this bullshit social media censorship, we're going to talk about it and how we found actionable ways to overcome it. Let me know in the comments if your brand has ever faced censorship, whether you've had a post removed, limited reach, an account ban. Let me know. So cannabis is complicated. Running a business in this space is almost unlike anywhere else because we're facing so many challenges, so many regulations, so many restrictions. And this is why it is so important that you have a game plan. Because when you don't have a game plan, you are going to be lost. And over time, what this is going to do, and I see this happen to so many cannabis business owners, is they waste time and money on marketing that just isn't working. It's not getting results. And we're already facing so many restrictions that you've got to maximize every single advertising dollar. And when you don't have a strategy, it's very easy to fall behind. And as more markets open up, access expands, but competition goes up. And you're either staying ahead or falling behind. And if you don't have a strategy, you don't have a guide of where to go. And of course, being silenced by social media. Censorship has unfortunately gotten worse in cannabis. And when you don't know how to navigate these challenges, it can really stall your growth. So we're going to talk about how you can create that strategy and grow your business. But first, who is this not for? As this training isn't for everyone. So if you're kind of seeking more generic marketing solutions, meaning you're not looking for cannabis specific tactics, this ain't it. We're getting into the weeds. We're getting kind of the nuances of this space. Keep in mind, what I'm going to be teaching you are evergreen strategies. So the things you learn today, you can apply for months and years to come, but we're going to get very cannabis specific with it. If you've got bad products or services, meaning people are not happy with what you're selling, then there's no amount of marketing in the world that's going to fix that. Marketing is the fuel to a really great product or service. But I've got a feeling that if you clicked on this video, you're open, you're excited, you want to learn, you're just looking for some guidance on what to do next. So a little bit about myself. My name is Rachel Garland. I am the co-founder and CEO of Blazant Media, and we help cannabis brands overcome censorship to stand out and sell more. And I've loved this plan for a long time now, but I first got started in cannabis in 2015 as a freelance writer. And in 2016, my husband Hunter and we started our cannabis marketing agency. This is us at the High Times Cannabis Business Expo in LA back in 2017. And from 2016 to 2019, I grew a women's cannabis community called Women of Cannabis. And I interviewed female cannabis entrepreneurs around the world and shared their stories. Women from the US, Canada, Spain, Netherlands, and more. And the community really grew and blossomed over time. This was a completely self-funded venture. I didn't have any outside investors. And women really started to gravitate. And by 2018 was named Best Social Media Presence of the Year from the Emerald Cannabis Awards. Flash forward to 2019, on Instagram alone, have over 80,000 followers, women all around the world. It was one of the largest professional cannabis women organizations. Well, lo and behold, I wake up one day and the accounts on social media are gone. I was crushed. I was speechless. I could not believe it. Years of work, all these women's stories, and just like that. Whether it was censorship, whether it was a competitor, I will never know. But I was determined not to give up. So I think, all right, I'm just going to rebuild on my personal account and keep moving forward. And so that's what I did that same year. And slowly but surely got my personal account up to over 10,000 followers. And I decided to do a live launch on 420 in 2019. So April 20th rolls around. I do a live launch on Instagram. And what do you know? Lights out. I get deleted again live. So I understand how devastating, especially as a small business owner, dealing with this kind of censorship is. When I first started, you could say hashtag marijuana, hashtag weed, hashtag cannabis. It didn't matter. You really wouldn't have any issues. Today, it's a totally different story. And so from that moment forward, I really started to focus on how do we overcome this? And my husband and I, from that time on, have really gone clear of what it takes to overcome this censorship. Because lo and behold, in 2021, we faced it again with our agency accounts, got deleted on Instagram and Facebook. But this time, we were better prepared and knew how to handle these challenges. And what I've learned over the years is really how to still be able to build community, even if you have less reach, even if you have less followers. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the numbers, it's about the people that you impact and putting the right message in front of the right audience. And that is what we're going to talk about here today and how you can use it to grow your cannabis business. So let's dive in and take a look at some of these challenges because there are quite a few. We just talked about this censorship. Please let me know if your posts, your content have ever gotten censored on social. A lot of times there's no warnings, no reasons given, you're just censored. We are also facing ad restrictions. So most platforms as of right now do not allow cannabis ads. There are some workarounds. We are going to talk about it, but I want you to keep in mind it is still risky. There's also a lot of gray areas with cannabis. Things are changing so fast in this space. So what you might be able to do today might change tomorrow, and you really have to keep up and have an understanding of what's going on. Banking issues. Unfortunately, and this may change, we've got a lot of things coming up on the horizon, but right now, most banks will not work with cannabis businesses. And this means being able to process payments very difficult, whether it's online or in store. We do have some options of cannabis-friendly payment processors. I'll leave some more info about that below this video. The main thing to keep in mind, though, is just make sure you're working with someone cannabis-friendly, because you don't want to get set up, everything's rocking and rolling, and then all of a sudden, you have issues. And compliance. There are a lot of compliance aspects when you're a cannabis business. So truly, everything from seed to sale. And it really can depend on where your business is located. The type of cannabis business that you own will determine the type of compliance requirements you might face. But the main thing here is to know that from your packaging to your marketing to your messaging, you've got to be compliant, because when you're not, you'll be fined, or worse yet, out of business. I think, though, one of the biggest challenges for cannabis companies, though, is that you have these great products or these great services, but how do you let people know that you exist when it's like everywhere you turn, there's problems, there's restrictions, there's roadblocks? So let's talk about it. You might be thinking, well, Rachel, I've seen more ads than ever on social media. So that must be the way. Like, that's how these people are making sales, right? Just turn on some ads and let the money roll in. Well, we tested it. Ads this year with a dispensary, cannabis lawyer, and hemp brand on Facebook and Instagram. And here is what we found. So meta ads can work. We got them approved. Everyone's pages were safe. They got sales. But there are a lot of problems with paid ads for cannabis brands that not many people are talking about. And number one, you face a lot of rejection risk. So if you didn't know, Meta has a lot of strict advertising rules in general. And when you're doing anything like supplements, let alone cannabis, you are going to face a lot more restrictions and you can easily get flagged and rejected. The other problem with paid ads is they are very expensive. And the more people that run ads, the more the cost goes up. And when you have a smaller budget, Meta is less forgiving. They're looking for the people that have huge ad spends, think $50,000, $100,000 or more a month. That is not possible for a lot of small cannabis business owners. And not to mention, you are ultimately building on unstable ground. It is one thing to post on social media, it's another thing to have to pay to play on Meta. And when you try to push through, and you might have enough rejections, especially if you don't know what you're doing, if you're not sure what will or will not get approved, and you're even a higher risk. And what can happen is you can lose not only your ad account, you can lose the social media pages, the content, the followers that are associated with this. And you might be thinking, well, Rachel, I know there's people doing it. There has to be a way around it. And there are. Yeah, we did it. We got the ads approved. People made sales. But the thing that no one's talking about is this. To make your ads effective and profitable, you need to have these things in place first. Otherwise, and I literally see it every day, you might as well write a donation check to Meta because your ads aren't going to convert. And you know, Meta has been so good to us as the cannabis community. Because in order for your ads to even be profitable, you have to lay the foundation. And that is organic marketing, because without that, you're going to not have anything convert. And here's the other thing. You don't need to give money to Meta to hit $10,000 or $20,000 a month or more. Really, you need to be at a minimum of $20,000, $25,000 a month before you even consider running ads. And to get there, you don't need it. You need organic marketing. So proof is in the pudding. Not a single ad was ran to achieve this. 26,000 some in sales, 30 days, all organic marketing. So let's talk about how you can use organic marketing to grow your cannabis business. And I want to point out, this is not theory. This isn't me guessing. This is what we're doing hands-on for ourselves and our clients, and what we are actually seeing work. So first off, what is organic marketing? And really, it's just about attracting people without paying for ads. So instead of giving money to Facebook, instead of giving money to Instagram, you're going to focus on creating content that attracts people to you. How do you attract people, though? There's one key question you need to ask yourself first. Who are you trying to reach? If you try to go after everyone, you're going to end up connecting with no one. And I speak with a lot of cannabis business owners, and they think they're clear on their target audience, but they're way off course. So let's talk about how you can get that clarity and really begin to identify your ideal customers. And first off, that's understanding your products or services on a really deep level. And you might help a lot of different people, but I want you to think about, who have you helped the most? Who has had the biggest, most life-changing transformation from using your products or services? And then ask yourself, what problem are you solving for them? Are you helping someone get a good night's sleep, and finally, for the first time, they feel clear, energized, they're there for their family, ready to take on the day? Are you helping people save more money with their taxes so they can invest back into their business? Think about the transformation, because a lot of times business owners are confused why they're creating these things and yet nobody's responding. And often there is a lack of clarity on who they're really serving. I'll give you an example. So let's say right now you're putting out a bunch of trendy reels and all the messaging is really geared for people between 25 and 30. Well, you look at the data and it turns out most of your customers are over the age of 65. And the number one reason they're purchasing from you is because they need help with sleep and your products help them get a great night's rest. Well, meanwhile, none of your content talks about that. And so that's where the disconnect can happen and why it's so important before you just start going and posting. Think about who you're helping and who has had the biggest transformation. Up next, you want to do something called creating customer profiles. So I want you to think about if your ideal customer was in front of you right now. What do they do? What are their biggest challenges? What are their hopes, their dreams, their desires? What are they struggling with? Where are they located? What's their age? What's their income level? What's their interest? Because the more that you understand who you're helping, the better you can serve them. And another way that you can start to get that clarity is look at your customers currently. And what you want to do is look for the patterns. So, what do some of your best customers have in common? Maybe you find out that over half the people that shop with you are within a certain mile radius. Maybe you find out most of your customers are women. Maybe you find out, most of your customers are older or younger. Who knows? You've got to look at your data and start to use that info, because when you better understand your audience, you can help them in a bigger way. And another way to start to get that clarity is just asking people. So have some conversations when someone comes in and say, hey, what made you stop in today? What do you like the most about our products? How have they helped you? Or if someone purchases a service from you, what was the most helpful about this? How did it change your business or your life? Because as you gain that information, your marketing, your messaging is going to improve. And this right here, sort of getting laser clear on your target audience, who you're serving, is going to give you the direction to move forward to be able to really grow your business. So let's talk a little bit about organic marketing. There's a few key components: content marketing, and we're going to break each of these down one by one. But for right now, content marketing, you're going to make something called offers and storytelling. But all of this organic marketing is going to be built around this community building. And while I am a conversion marketer, I help you make more sales. This isn't just pushing products. This is impacting people's lives. This is helping to make a positive difference. And the way that you're going to do that, and what we found people who've done it the most successfully, is they build community, and they first start with building a local community. Because even if you're a national brand, when you can build that local base with people who are more likely to trust you, to know you, then that can be the catapult to help you go national. And community building is so huge in this space because we face so many restrictions. But when you're able to build real relationships with people, that's when you're going to grow. So first off, though, let's talk about content marketing and how it can really drive organic growth for your business. So content is all about long-term results. This isn't putting up one post, one video, or sending one email, and all of a sudden your life changes. Sure, you might get lucky, something goes viral, but if you want to create long-term sustainable growth in your business, you got to have a game plan. And that is what content is going to do. Because when you share valuable content, we're going to look at this in more detail, but right now, I want you to think of things that are going to connect and convert your target audience. You're going to start to attract the right kind of customers. And as those customers find out about you and they try your products or services, this is going to build trust. And when they have a great experience, they're going to turn into a loyal customer. And over time, loyal customers are going to spend more with you and keep coming back. Customer retention is important for any business. But when you're a cannabis company and we're dealing with all of these crazy restrictions, customer retention is vital. Did you know it can cost you up to 5 times more to acquire a new customer than to retain an existing one? And organic marketing and using content will help you create that sustainability within your business. So let's talk about some examples. And these examples I'm going to share with you are what we have found get the best results for cannabis brands. SEO, search engine optimization. What that means is you're making your website easy to find for search engines and people. And this does take time. anywhere on average from 3 to 6 months to really start generating the results. But when you do it right, you're able to attract people to you, and people with high intent, meaning they're searching for products or services just like yours. And when you show up at the first result of Google, they're much more likely to shop with you. Social media. So connect with people by sharing posts, videos, and pictures to grow your business. And the thing is, we can all kind of get caught up in the matrix, but we got to step back and remember the fact that you can even just share something online and potentially impact someone in your neighborhood or halfway around the world is incredible. And email marketing. This one we're really going to look at in a lot of detail. But for right now, email marketing, think about sending messages to people that's going to help you build a relationship with them and also sell more of your products or services. But what kind of content do you create that actually gets results? Because I think a lot of people realize at this point, okay, I know I need to be on social media. I know I need to be sending some emails, but what do I do that's actually going to move my business forward? So there are two elements that you want to make sure that you have in your content if you want it to convert. And that is having great offers plus strategic storytelling. Let's talk about offers first. So what's an offer and why does it matter? So an offer is really what you're selling, but it is more than your product or service alone. It's the entire reason why someone wants to buy from you and not someone else. And the better your offer is, the easier it is to sell. And that's why you've got to get laser clear on who your audience is, because as you gain that clarity, the other pieces are going to start to fall into place. So how do you make a good offer? Let's talk about it. Why do people buy? Whether it's cannabis or not, there are certain psychological factors that influence whether someone decides to purchase or not. One of those factors is unbeatable value, meaning a really great offer clearly communicates the benefits and results they will receive if they purchase your product or service. And a lot of cannabis businesses think that they are doing this. They think that they are clearly communicating to their customers, but they're not. As you go and you look at the content, and it's all about themselves, how great their brand is, how amazing their products are, but nothing about the benefits and results for the customer. If you want to have marketing that works, if you want to grow your business, you've got to think less about what you want and more about what your customers want, because ultimately you are serving them. Second up, a great offer is going to solve an urgent problem. So the more pressing the problem is, the more likely they are going to buy now and not later. And a way that you can understand whether something is an urgent problem is when you're clear on who you're serving. And a great offer has limited time or availability, meaning you have a sense of urgency to act now and not later. All this really is packaging your products, your services into something that is more enticing. But how do you stand out? You know that you need to package things, you know that you need offers, but you don't want to sound like every other brand. Storytelling. You are going to use storytelling to stand out because it's more than just for movies, for books. It is a powerful way to grow your business. The proof is in the pudding. So this is for the same hemp econ brand I showed you earlier, and we tied in a one-day offer with a founder's story, and this one email alone translates to about $2,584 in sales. Here's another example. Same brand. This was a completely different offer with a completely different story, and it did about $1,800 in sales. So storytelling works. Let's talk about why. One of the reasons that storytelling is very powerful is because you can connect with people on a deeper level. And I want you to think about this example. So let's say you're at a cannabis conference and someone comes up to you and they just share with you a list of kind of interesting facts. And then someone comes up to you and they tell you a very heartfelt story of how this plant has changed their life, why they started this business. Which do you think you would be more likely to remember? The story, right? And stories also can take something complex like cannabis because we are in our own bubble. We don't realize at times how isolated we can kind of be. And when you want to reach people, you've got to communicate in a way that's easy and simple for them to understand. And that is what storytelling does. It also helps you stand out because, sure, other people might sell what you sell or something similar, but they're not you. They don't have your journey, your background, your voice, your perspective. And when you have the courage, because I understand it's vulnerable to put yourself out there, but when you do, you never know who you could impact because there could be someone sitting there right now that needs exactly your story. And when you hold back, when you play small, you do a disservice to yourself and others. And the thing is, it's not just your story, it's also your customers' stories. When you share both, that's when the magic happens. But where do you start sharing these offers and storytell more? Everywhere. If this was not cannabis and we were in any other industry, I would say narrow your circle of focus, go all in on one platform and master it and expand out from there. But it is too risky as a cannabis brand to put all of your eggs in one basket. You have to maintain a presence in multiple places because at the end of the day, we don't own these social media platforms. You don't own your followers. One platform might be a little bit more cannabis friendly today. Tomorrow, they might change their mind. This is how you overcome it because there's one place, if I could recommend you pay attention to, it's this: your email list. Here's why. Email marketing is one of the most effective ways to reach people without censorship. Right now, we got to say all this silly stuff on social media. We got to be like, buy my broccoli, or I'm a gardener. And you can't be direct. You can't be like, I sell these amazing cannabis products full of terpenes and cannabinoids. You have to sort of beat around the bush. Email, you can be very direct. And guess what happens when you are? Your sales go up because you're educating, you're empowering people. But I do want to mention, you still have to be compliant. There was a situation out of Ohio recently where quite a few cannabis businesses were fined. And for some of these companies, it was their emails that were not compliant. So while you can have a little bit more freedom, some more leeway, you still have to be compliant in all your messaging. Here's the other thing. Not all email marketing platforms are cannabis or even CBD friendly. I know for a fact, MailChimp will kick you off if you're trying to sell CBD. We do have some options. I'll leave some more info about that below. But the takeaway here is make sure that you're working with someone cannabis friendly because you don't want to get all the campaigns set up. Everything's great, ready to go. You've got the automations in place. And then all of a sudden you're running into issues. And now you've wasted time and money trying to do this whole thing. So make sure you set yourself up for success from the start. Let's talk about the power of email marketing. So really, you're building relationships because you're sending regular emails. In order for this to work, it's not sending it out kind of when you feel like it or once a month, minimum one time a week, because this is going to help you stay connected with your customers. You're keeping them informed, engaged, and really staying top of mind. Email also is a place where you can promote your products in a much more direct way. So you can say, buy here, get 25% off. They click the link, they go straight there. On social media, I don't know about you, but especially when you're selling products, if you try to do something like, hey, I got, this many pounds of flour, hit me up. None of these platforms really like that, and you're probably going to run into issues. Email, you can say what you want to say. Email marketing also drives repeat business. So you're reminding people about the value that you offer to keep them coming back time and time again. And sometimes cannabis business owners that I speak with are a little hesitant. They go, well, Rachel, I don't want to spam people. Fair enough. Here's the thing. When your emails aren't shitty and people actually want to read them and you're educating and you're selling, guess what? Then they're going to open them, they're going to read them. And so you want to make sure that you are sending things of quality. Another thing you can do with email is personalize the experience. So you can do something called segmenting. And what that would look like is, let's say you notice with your store that about half of your people only purchase smokable products and the other half of your people only purchase your non-smokable products. You might consider doing something called segmenting. So what that will look like is you might put one offer out to your smokable audience and you put another offer out to your non-smokable audience. What would be the benefit of doing that? You're just putting the right message in front of the right audience, which means they're more likely to take action. Email marketing will also help you overcome censorship. We talked about this earlier because as long as you have a cannabis-friendly email provider, you can get around a lot of these restrictions and reach your audience without worrying about getting banned or censored. Because I've been through it. I've been through it a lot, and I've come out stronger. And I can tell you this, make sure that you are retaining your contacts because you don't own your followers. Something could happen. But your email list, even if you happen to get kicked off an email platform, as long as you have your list of contacts, you can continue reaching your community for months, for years to come. Plus, with email, you can measure success pretty easily. So you can look at those open rates. You can see, all right, how many sales did I get? And this will allow you to really see what's working and what's not. So let's talk about how you can really grow your cannabis business with organic marketing, because we've covered quite a bit. So first off, you're making offers. And the way to make a great offer is you're getting laser clear on who your ideal customers are, and you're clearly communicating the benefits that someone's going to receive if they try your product or service. You're also using urgency in solving a pressing problem. Then you're using storytelling. These could be your stories or your customers' stories. I recommend doing both. Then you're creating content to promote that offer and using storytelling. And emails. This is a lot of times where you're going to see a lot of the sales. You're going to promote your offer using storytelling in your email and rinse and repeat. And I will say, I am a big advocate of email because I've gone through this censorship. I've seen what email can do and why it's so powerful. But just like the plan itself, none of these things in isolation are as powerful as they are together. If you want to get the best results, all of these things need to align. And let me give you an example of what this might look like. So let's say you create a hemp skincare line. You have super sensitive skin. It's something you've struggled with your whole life, and no products have really ever worked for you. But you found out about hemp, and it helped you in so many ways. So you create this really great skincare line. Well, you decide to run a special offer on your skincare. You decide to offer people that if they buy your hemp cream, then they are going to get an exfoliator free today only. That's your offer. Then you're going to use storytelling to promote that offer. So you might share the story of what inspired you to start your skincare line. You share how you were never able to find products that worked. You had a lot of bad reactions. And finally, you were able to find something natural that really helps your skin. So you share that story on social media and you send out an email promoting the offer for your cream with the free exfoliator today only in your email, and you share your story. Well, you go and you look the next day at the results and you got a bunch of sales. Yay! And it looks like the majority of them came from your email. But lo and behold, you might find out that half the people that purchase in your email also saw your post earlier on social media, and they really resonated and connected with your story when you shared the problems that you had experienced with most skincare products and what really drove you to create this. And so they really connected with you and they want to try your products. They want to support you. So they end up purchasing through your email. And so you see how these things work together. At first glance, you might think it was only the emails, but it was all of these elements combined. That is where you are going to experience the best results. So let's talk about how you can start measuring success. Number one, analyzing. I am shocked how many business owners I speak with and I say, where are you at? They have no idea. You cannot measure what you don't know. So first off, take a look, see what's going on. Where are you at? Next up, refine. You want to look at your marketing. What's working? What's not? And then test. Test. So much of marketing is testing, because even when you have a winning formula, you knock it out of the park. You never want to get too comfortable. There are always ways to improve. And this is a rinse and repeat too. So you're constantly looking at your marketing and you're going, all right, what worked about this? Why did people respond? What didn't work so great about this one? And let's improve it. Let's test it. And as you go through this process and do this work, which most people are not, you are going to get clear how to better serve your audience. And that alone is going to give you a competitive advantage. And it's easy to get kind of caught up in the weeds of all this data and all these numbers. And you do need to have a pulse of what's going on in your business. But here's the main thing you need to look at. Are you getting sales? So is what you're doing today bringing you closer or further from where you want to be? When you look past over the last few weeks, months, years even, are you moving forward with your business? Or are you feeling kind of stuck, plateaued, or worse yet, you feel like you're falling behind? Because this is possible without ads. We did it. We're doing it. Not a single ad was ran to achieve this. And I see way too many cannabis brands thinking ads are the solution to their problems, but they don't have the things in place to even make it profitable. If you want to reach these kind of numbers with your business, you need to be focused on organic marketing. And look, good things do take time. I'm not going to sit up here and be like, one magic formula and all your problems are solved. Sure, you might learn a game-changing tactic, strategy, approach that really transforms your business. But you and I both know, if you want to do something great, if you want to build something, it is the day in and day out effort that's going to reap the longer term rewards. But when you know what to do and you understand clearly what actions to take that are going to help you get the best results, well, here are the year-to-date results. So last 12 months, they've done, same brand, $245,822. This is just for their retail hemp store. We also manage their wholesale, but this is just for retail. So this gives you an idea of what is possible for your business. Not a single ad was ran. This is all organic marketing and what we talked about here today. So how can you use this going forward to grow your business? Remember that organic marketing is key. This is all about attraction. This isn't pushing products down people's throats. This is about offering them a solution. When you believe you know your products or services change lives, then you have a duty to help more people. And attraction marketing is what is going to allow you to do that. And you're also going to use irresistible offers. So this will help you make your products, your services more recession-proof, because you're going to be focused on the benefits that someone's going to receive. You're focused on solving their problems, and you're going to use a sense of urgency to get them to take action. And remembering, the better your offer is, the easier it is to sell. And this is why you need to spend some time on really getting clear on who your audience is. because as you gain that clarity, all the other pieces are going to fall into place because you're going to speak directly to their desires, their dreams, their problems, their challenges, and that's going to help you stand out and sell more. You're also going to use storytelling, and these are your stories and your customer stories. And this will help you build an emotional connection with your community because this is cannabis. We know what this plant can do. It can change people's lives, and sharing those stories is one of the most powerful ways to not only grow your business, but also impact people. And email marketing. So this is going to be a very great way to be able to stay in contact with your people no matter what happens on social media when you send consistent and targeted emails and automations. Automations are very powerful because when you have the things in place, they can keep working for you even when you're not. So here it is at a glance. You are making offers, and I recommend, especially if you're just starting in this process, you definitely want to test out multiple offers. As you go through this, you're going to figure out more and more what people do and don't respond to. And you're going to use storytelling, your stories and your customer stories, sharing content and sending emails. Rinse and repeat. All of these things coming together. And when you do this over time, organic marketing is going to increase your sales. It's going to drive customer retention because you're building repeat business, and you're going to overcome this bullshit social media censorship because you're taking people, you're directing them to places that you have greater control over, like your website, like your email list, where you can speak more freely and really educate and empower them. So if you enjoyed this training and you think that we could help your cannabis business, then message me the word organic. You can reach me on Facebook, Instagram, X, or LinkedIn. I'll leave more info below, and I'll send you some more info and see if we can help. We have been working with cannabis entrepreneurs from coast to coast since 2016. Everyone from California cannabis farms to hemp processors in the Midwest, the cannabis lawyers, accountants, and everything in between. So we really understand the unique challenges and opportunities within this industry. So if you are looking for some guidance and personalized support, whether you're more the person that says, you know what, take the wheel, or you want to learn how to fish, because what we talked about here today are the overall strategies, the key things that we've learned that helped us get results. But there's a lot of levels. There's a lot of layers to all these things, from compliance to exactly what you should say in your emails, to structuring stories, to the best send times, all of that. If you are interested in more personalized support, definitely message me the word organic, and I will shoot you over a message, see if we can help. I just want to say thank you for watching this training. Please let me know if you got any value from this. I spent a lot of time creating and preparing this so it'd be as helpful as possible for you. This is really kind of years in the making of what I've learned. So I hope that you got a lot of value from this today. We are thinking about doing more trainings in the future. So please let me know if you have any questions, topics like you'd like to see covered. Let me know in the comments. And until next time.